Good evening everyone and welcome to this stream. We are back after a few weeks break. We are back commentating an SRL race. I'm well excited for this, it's been a while. Today is a pre-season race, it's the only pre-season race that we're doing for the Tier 1. So it should be a lot of fun, always some good racing. So I'm looking forward to this. As I can see in the chat, there's a few drivers who say that they haven't played the game in a few weeks. I certainly haven't played the game in a few before my race today, so there could be some people a bit rusty today and not quite used to racing at the highest level after their couple-week break, if you like. So maybe we'll see some mistakes, maybe we'll see some surprising results. Only time will tell. Welcome to the stream, JD Plude 10. I hope you're well. I'll get all this sorted. I'm probably going to be quite rusty in my commentary as well, because I haven't commentated the race for a while, but nevertheless, here we are. Looks like there's a few drivers who are going to try. We're going to jump onto the medium tyres to start with. Looks like pretty toxic. Sten and SRL Yari are jumping onto medium tyres to start things off as the cars come out onto the track for their first stop at qualifying. We are, of course, racing a little bit later than we're normally used to, of course, because we have to be considerate of the IRL F1 season underway. So we are racing a little bit later. But it's not too bad. It's like half an hour later, so it shouldn't affect the drivers too much. Of course, I'm sure many of you will have watched the F1 Grand Prix today, which Max Verstappen won. Obviously, the main focal point was Bottas and Russell, and I think there were other crashes as well. It was a very entertaining race, I've got to say. I really did enjoy it. So we can have a similarly eventful and enjoyable race here in SRL Tier 1. So it looks like Joe Royal is going to come across the line first here. Yes, it is. So he's going to start his lap. Joe Royal, who has been promoted from Tier 2 to Tier 1, very well deserved for Joe. Very fast driver, really has shown the level of improvement that he has made over the last few months. And he fully deserves to be in the top tier of SRL. There's a yellow flag to sector 3. I'm not sure who it is, probably just somebody going wide. So let's stay on board with Joe for his lap. Sorry guys, 2 seconds. So as Joe leaves the Scary, just running wide, and he's invalidated his lap. Not to say for him, Frigo Toxic meanwhile hasn't, so he's going to be the first person to sit at time, and it's going to be on the medium tyres. So let's see what time he's going to do. He comes round the final corner. Frigo Toxic in the half. It's at a 120.9. Frico Sammy across the line next, 119.9. Teammate Govenzai, who's coming into the pit because he invalidated his last time. Carcraft comes across the line. It's a 118.8, and he goes on provisional pole for now. Too Late Mates is just behind Sten, so we'll stay aboard the Sten as he comes down the final corner on the medium tyres. What time he's going to set? So 130.7. Meanwhile, Too Late Mate does a 119.038 and he's into P2 at that time. Meanwhile, Made in Turkey is about his back, so he's going to go again. Meanwhile, Yari into P6, he's going second fastest in terms of the medium runners for 125.4. Meanwhile, El Trocker will be the next across the line. In the Renault, he crosses the line. It's a 119.4 and he's up to P3 with that time. So good stuff from El Trocker. Nico Tuck's going to come across the line, but he's invalidated his lap. So he'll go again. On an out lap, so we'll check back with him later. Turkey's invalidated his lap time as well. Richard on an out lap. Sten he's got on a fast lap. As he goes down the final corner, he'll have a flag. So I'm not sure that's called, but he's going to come across the line. He is going to conclude. It's a 120.6, so he's into P6. He stays the fastest medium tyre runner for now. Meanwhile, Yari jumping into the pit very late there. Turkey's about this as well, so he's going to be jumping in the pit. He seems to be struggling to set a lap time at the moment without invalidating it. Meanwhile, El Trocker, another one. So a lot of drivers struggling with the track limits, it seems, at the moment. Joe Royal starts his fast lap. He'll be hoping to get time on the board. He was very unlucky to have his first time invalidated. He just went a little bit wide, just exited Ascari. But the game can be very, very strict on track limits. And rules are rules. So Joe will have to go once again here. So be careful, sector 1. There's a good start to his lap from Joe, riding the curb nicely. Joe keeping it nice and tidy at the moment. It's been a good lap so far. Next part though is so important, where you can turn a good lap into a great lap and a good lap into a bad lap. It's a decent run from Joe. And he doesn't invalidate his lap this time, so he is going to set it. Can Joe challenge those top positions here in qualifying with this lap? It looks very, very fast, I've got to say, from Joe. And he comes round the final corner, and this is going to be quick, this. It's a 119, he's up to P3, fantastic lap from Joe. Superb, showing his pace there for sure. Meanwhile, his teammate Witcher is just invalidated his lap time there. It's a shame. But because Toxic's going to come round the final corner, currently in P9. He's jumping into the pits though. Blake on an outlap, adds Freakin' Sammy. Penner running wide. Tarcraft on an outlap, currently our provisional pole sitter at the moment. Aero Blake is on a lap, so we'll stay on board with him for now. Currently in P7 is the Ferrari driver. Let's see what sort of lap time he can do here. Keeps it nice and steady, not because it didn't seem to be quite as fast as Joe was in that part of the track, but keeps it quite nice. Losing the back end a bit there, and he's actually gone wide, and that's going to invalidate his lap time, unfortunately. I think he was just trying to catch up a bit after going a little bit slow out of that left and right hander. In sector 1 that Yari is just about to reach himself, as he does a careful sector 1. We know how fast Yari is, so I expect him to do a much better lap time here. Now he's on soft tyres. Yari, of course, in the Red Bull this season. by the looks of things. He ditched the Merc and jumped into the Red Bull. I wonder if that is to emulate Max Verstappen. Only he can tell us, of course. As a final six, I'm going to support Mr. L to finish off because of supporting me earlier in F3. Good luck to all. That's fair enough, finalist lads. Welcome to the stream, mate. So we're not doing too bad so far, 22.5. Meanwhile, Yari is at 118.5 and he is on provisional pole, is Yari. Showing his pace there, terrific lap. Meanwhile, El Trocker is just starting another lap. So we'll check in with him in a second, see if I notice a bit further on a lap. Made in Turkey hasn't set a lap time yet. And he is going to set one this time. And in that Red Bull, it's a 119.8. He's 67. Is made in Turkey. Just got an outlap. We go with Anxiety, Dark. Right, I think we'll jump on board with El Strocker. But no, we'll stay on board Too Late Mate and then we'll jump on board El Strocker afterwards. Too Late Mate, of course, is our Season 2 Championship winner. So he'll want to be the first driver in Tier 1 to retain the title. He's got the talent. I wouldn't surprise if he was to be able to do that. And he'll want to get off to a flying start here in the practice race. He's probably in P3. Is Too Late Mate. I tell you what, it's going to beat you on his time. It's a 118.3. Terrific stuff from Too Late Mate. We will quickly jump on board with El Trocker. He's been validated lap time actually. So he's not going to be able to set that time, unfortunately. Go with Anxiety, we'll jump on board with. It's going to swap with Yari by looks of things, with him jumping out of the Red Bull into the Merc. Of course, with all these cars on equal performance, it doesn't really matter what car you're in. And go with Anxiety, invalidating his lap time in a Scary like many others have already. And he'll be jumping into the pits to jump on a new set of tyres, I assume. Meanwhile, Witcher, just like Joe, improved a lot, done really well in Tier 2 last season. And deserves his promotion into Tier 1. Of course, it's not his first race in Tier 1, he did have a couple of stand-in races here. There's no stranger to racing with some of these guys. And we know how quick he is as he comes around the final corner. Witcher in the Williams. And Witcher's going to set a 118.9. He's up to P4 with that time. So good stuff from him. So he may jump into the pit. Who's the first on? I think it was Tenor. I think it is Tenor. So let's go aboard with him. There's just about 5.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying in Italy. So far, Too Late Mate. 118.3 is the time to beat. As everyone is on the soft tyres now, nobody seems to think that the mediums is quick enough to be in the top 10. Such as the level of lap times being set, penalty is going to jump into the pit, so he just wasted all our time, which is fantastic. Aero Blake validated his lap time. Sten's going to come across the line from 119 for him. Good stuff. Pretty good Sammy jump into the pit. Aero Blake has invalidated his lap, so it's not going to stand. Dark on an outlap. What about his teammate? Very good toxic. I go slow. Looks like, say, Williams coming across the line next. It's Witcher, who is going to be jumping into the pit after that very good lap. Let's put him in P4 for now. So, most of the drivers into the pits now to change tyres for what will be the last time. A couple of drivers taking advantage of a free track, such as Yari is. We'll stay on board with Dark, who's one of two drivers not to set a lap time at the moment. little bit of a slipstream off the Guilt of Anxiety's Mercedes there. And oh, it's just turned in too early there, Dark, and he invalid his lap, but no matter, he will have time to jump back into the pit, change the tyres, and go again. But yeah, it's so easy to do. It's so tempting to turn in early, so you've got as much speed going into Ascari as you can, but you can't afford to turn in too early because you just end up invalidating your lap time. Meanwhile, Made in Turkey, currently in P10, passes the 119.8. If he can improve by a couple of tenths, he's probably get pretty fantastic and maybe 10er. Bearing in mind, of course, if they don't improve, that is. As Made in Turkey, a little bit wide going into the right-hander in Ascari. But not invalidating his lap, but he will have lost time, having to run as he runs wide there. As you can see, there's a point in the background, but we will jump on board just in a second. Made in Turkey, he is going to go quicker. It's a 119.5, 89. Meanwhile, Penner at an outlaw is about to start his lap time, so he'll be looking to improve and jump a few places up. Park after an outlap. Yari going to be going again, I think. Meanwhile, the Guilt of Anxiety getting a slipstream off Yari. He comes around the final corner. He is going to set a lap time to go. It's going to be quite quick as well. It's a 118.8. He's up to P4. So that's very good for him. As Yari starts his final lap to try and beat Too Late Mate to time and get himself onto provisional pole. Too Late Mate is just coming out of the pits now, I believe. I think he was the furthest ahead, as there's a yellow flag up ahead for Figotokave, which was wide there. Carcraft is not going to go faster, that is the end of his qualifying. Carcraft, who of course finished in the top 3, I think with a P2 P3, I can't remember, I think it might be P2. So, he's a fast driver. As Penner comes across the line, he is going to improve just by 2 tenths of 119, which is not enough to get himself further up the field. So on an outlap. Yari hasn't validated his lap time. If he's got enough fuel in the car, he'll be able to go again. Time is right to his lap as well. But Toxic has not, and he is going to set his lap time here. As Yari gets out of his way. And in the half, Pretty Toxic comes across the line. It's a 119.5, improves his time. I did see 11 now, as I try and figure out who's crossing the line next. The Too Late Mate's going to come across the line and he's going to start his lap. So keep a close eye on that top 2, as Penner's retired at the end of his qualifying. I think it might be El Trocker further on. I think it is, so we'll stay on board with El Trocker. Improving just a little bit in that Renault by this time. If he only moves by a couple of tenths, he'll find himself a few places up the grid, to be fair. El Trocker representing the mighty Scotland. He's going to come across the line. He is going to improve to 118.6. It's a very good lap from El Trocker. Meanwhile, jump on board with Joe Royal. As qualifying is over now, so it's when you cross the line, that is the end of your qualifying. And Joe Royal crossed the line. It's a 118.8. He's currently in P4 now. Meanwhile, Yari's advantage his lap, so he's not going to be getting the provisional pole. Too Late Mate, he's a couple of tenths down on his fastest time. I think that he's going to be okay. It's going to be for pole position for Too Late Mate. And that he's actually not going to finish his lap time because he's not going to go quicker. I think it's at the end of qualifying. I think so. And too late, mate. Like he did all of season 2, looking very strong and takes pole position here in Italy with Yari in P2, El Trocker and Joe Willow on the second row. A good lap from them. Harcraft in P5, the Go Anxiety P6, Witcher P7 alongside Sten in P8. Aero and Penna round off the top 10, and then just outside we've got Maiden Turkey, Farico Toxic, Dark RT21, Farico Same, and Mabs UK did not take part in qualifying, I do not believe. We just wait for Aeroblake's Ferrari to be put back into the pit lane so we can continue on with the lobby. But yeah, Thanos, that was a good qualifying from El Trocker actually. Done really well to get into P3. It's a good time, that one, 18.6. I think between top 5 it was quite close, to be fair. So no, good showing from the Tier 1 drivers that are participating today. So, welcome to the race here. It looks like it's going to be dry. The sad thing about not having our resident weatherman Scotty Fennell in this tier anymore is I don't have a weatherman. Maybe we'll have to find a new weatherman this season. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be dry. The sunshine is out. So I think it will be a one-stopper. Of course, the top 10 have to start on the tyres they qualified on, and everybody qualified on the softs, so they'll be all on soft tyres. And if you're outside the top 10, you have a free choice of tyre, so I would expect a few people outside the top 10 to start on the mediums. And of course, it's a one-stop, so if you start on mediums, you're probably going to try and last until about, I don't know, 18, 19, sorry, not 18, 19, 16, 17, and then do 10 laps on the softs, and it's vice versa. If you start on the softs, you'll do up to about lap 10 and then finish on mediums. And that does not, though, include if there's any safety cars and stuff like that, which always makes things interesting. So, we'll have a look at the tyres quickly. As I just mentioned, the top 10 on softs, which they have to do. Frico Toxic, Frico Sammy and Mavs UK on the medium tyres, Witcher and Dark on the soft, as Aero Blake has and Sten have been disqualified from the formation lap due to contact between each other. That's not what you want to be seeing. So let us know in the comments who you think is going to win. I think you would be daft to look past Too Late Mate and Yari being near and thereabouts towards the top. I think El Trocker, Joe and Carcraft could have good races today, and they got Anxiety as well, the good driver. But either way, it should be a good race. And confirmation of the pit stop strategy is on your screens just now. So as the drivers just come on to the long straight just after Ascari, just before the final corner. You have a few more seconds to get comfy, get yourself a wee drink and a snack and whatnot, and enjoy this race. So here we go, all the cars are lined up on the grid and ready to go. Good luck to all the drivers as always, have a good clean race and give us an exciting one. We have 3, we have 4, we have 5 red lights. And we are underway at Monza. Too Late May get a decent start, as does Yari beside him. In fact, Yari got a really nice start. Not as good though as El Trocker as they go side by side coming into the first turn. Yari just trying to defend, trying to hold off El Trocker. Yari does hold on indeed. As the yellow flag sector 1, some incidents going on at the back. I think something happened from Frico Sammy because he's ghosted. As Maiden Turkey looking to try and get Dark RT21 here, and very late on the brakes and a nice clean move in there, and he's up into the top 10 as someone's front wing has just gone flying off, and Yari is off the track. I believe, whereabouts is he? He's all the way at the back now. Something's happened between him. That's not what you like to see. And I think Yari has front wing damage as well, so that's a nightmare situation for Yari. Too Late May managed to hold on to the lead of the race. Ultra is now in P2. Carcraft has him as well. Carcraft drove all and not great start. They're all the way down at the bottom as well. So it's madness going into the first lap there. Unless the signs are messing up a little bit here. I don't know. No, they are at the back. Okay, I'm not sure what happened to them. Bear with us guys while the standings fix themselves. Frico Sammy's thinking about having a move on Aero Blake and runs into the back of the Ferrari. And he just looked like he just didn't quite slow down, and he just tapped Aero Blake a little bit and he lost out because of that. Meanwhile, Carcraft looking to try and recover the positions that he lost. Is going on the outside of Frico Sammy's Mercedes, and he's got that moved on, and he is up to P10 just now. Meanwhile, Penn gaining a little bit on Witcher here. As we have a look at the position changes very quickly, so it makes us the fastest lap. 1:22 for him. Richard had a phenomenal start, started at the back and he's already up into P5, made up 10 positions. But he got Toxic as well, started P11, he's up into P4. Terrific stuff for him. Maverick K on a decent start, P14 up to P7. Sten as well, P7, he's now in P3. But I don't know what happened with Yari there, we completely missed it. Going inside the double, Aero Blake and Yari having not a great start to pole and getting involved in incidents, unfortunately. And they are at the back of the field now. Okay, what is it? So yeah, no one stopped, so they didn't have front wing damage, which is interesting. Or he's just sticking it out. Meanwhile, Witcher on those soft tyres is looking pretty racy against Rico's Toxic here. As he hunts down P4, yeah, he's got the 3 second time penalty for corner cutting. He becomes the first person to get a penalty for that. But Witcher keeping it nice and steady. And he's going to get a nice run on for Rico Toxic. And I don't think he even needs ERS. He'll get the ERS, and that's enough to help him fly past the Haas and take P4. Meanwhile, they're followed by Penna, Made in Turkey, and Mavs UK. A little 5-car train forming at the back here. Meanwhile, is Penna now thinking about attacking Frico Toxic here? So Frico Toxic doing the long game here, if you like, being on those medium tyres, of course, because all these other guys around him will be hitting in about 5 or 6 laps time, and he will be staying out. So he's playing the long game, so he probably doesn't want to be getting involved too much in squabbling with soft tyre runners. Okay, we're going to jump on board ahead as Sten is trying to close the gap to El Trotter. Meanwhile, as Ferrari's teammate Aero Blake has managed to get past the goal of anxiety to the 11. Meanwhile, Penna's now got back ahead, has got ahead of Frico Toxic now. In fact, they've switched positions again, but we're still going to stay on board with the battle between Sten and El Trotter here as he's gaining on him, uses his ERS. And has he got the move done? I think he has. Very late on the brakes, but he holds on nicely, and Sten is up to P2 now. As Made in Turkey is now up to P5. And there's a 3-way battle going on here, and there's a yellow flags in sector 1, that's going 4. Penna here, oh, is he going to think about, they're going to go side by side with Frico Toxic here. This could be very interesting. And Penna holds on to the position. Frico Toxic gets the 3 second time penalty. Well, I think he got a bit squeezed there, and it meant he had to take the penalty. It's a shame for him. And Frico goes wide, and that might allow Magic to get a nice run on him here. And he's on the gravel, and Magic says thank you very much, and he is up into P6 and can now get after Penna, potentially. So a couple of drivers picking up penalties now. Made in Turkey joins Frico Toxic and Yari on 3 seconds. As Chile makes us another faster of the race. It's a 1:22.020 for him. As he's keeping the gap to just under 5 seconds to Sten at the moment. Meanwhile, the battle between Frico Toxic and Mazuk continues here. There's yellow flag sector 3. It's Aero Blake, who seems to be going very slow coming out of the final corner. And I wonder if he's got damage. In fact, he's hitting his Aero Blake. And meanwhile, we're going to shoot ahead as El Trotter. Only a couple of tenths behind Sten, who gets himself onto the gravel, and that one might have affected him a little bit. And is that going to allow El Trotter to gain a bit on him? I think El Trotter ran a bit wide himself though, which means he's not really been able to capitalise. So we're going to leave this battle and go back on board between Frico Toxic, who's now battling Made in Turkey. Frico Toxic he had a little look to see if it was potentially going to be able to get around Made in Turkey there before Sky, but not quite able to. And he's ran wide there. He'll definitely pick up a warning for that. As he opens up the DRS, and there's more yellow flags in sector 2. And I think it's Dart who's spun off. I think on his own accord. I don't see any other cars around him. But unless he's got the car going again, so he's having a bit of a nightmare on those new hard tyres. Meanwhile, on the start, there's a couple of cars trying to gain positions. Magic K trying to chase down Penna still. As we're on lap 7 now, we're a couple of laps away from the first pit stop being initiated. As Rico Toxic's going to go side by side with Made in Turkey, and he's going to be made to go the long way around here. Oh, and he's so close to making contact with the Red Bull. And he runs very wide there, does Rico Toxic, and that's going to allow Carcraft to potentially get past him. I pressed the wrong button, I do apologise, but Carcraft is through. Rico Toxic going on to the track, and he's in P9. As Joe Royal now might be able to get past the Haas driver. Coming out of the Scari potentially. As Yaz picks himself up a second 3-second time penalty. So we'll have the pace advantage over Frico Toxic, but those softs will be going off a little bit, I would imagine. We'll want to try and get past Frico Toxic sooner rather than later if he wants to before he pits. But not quite close enough there. I wonder if he can gain a bit more time on him coming here. Very nice and steady, and he is getting on Frico, and Witcher's retired from the race. Something's happened there, and he becomes our first retirement, and Witcher was in 4th position, and he's lost it there. Not sure if he made contact with another driver, but Witcher is out, and that's a shame for him, as Aero Blake goes the fastest lap of the race for 1:21.3. Very rapid on those new stuff is Aero Blake. Meanwhile, Joe Royal is going to shoot past Frico Toxic. I wonder if the Haas just decided to let Joe go there. As there's more on 5 sector 3, and it's a Mercedes. And it's Frico Slammy who's in the wall in a Scari. And by looks of where he has been put into the wall, it looks like maybe he's been involved in some contact with somebody, because it would be very difficult to lose the car by yourself and put yourself into the left-hand side barrier. Not impossible, of course, but very difficult, I would imagine. That's a shame for him. So we're on lap 9 now. Wonder if any of the stoppers are going to try the undercut after this lap, or if they are going to go another lap or 2 before pitting onto those mediums. Magic seems to be gaining a bit on Penna here. As Magic runs wide, and Ascari already slipping off his time penalty, and really has to get off the accelerator onto the brakes to avoid putting the car into the wall. And what that's meant is the Carcraft, sorry, not Carcraft, right? Made in Turkey has been able to get beside him, beside Magic. I think I apologise, guys, I'm completely lost my train of thought. As Penna does decide to pit early and try the undercut, and there's a virtual safety car, and Penna's choice to pit might have just been an absolute gold dust as the virtual safety car comes up. I'm not sure who it's for though. I'm trying to find out. Trying to see if there's some debris potentially. Oh my goodness me! Made in Turkey has, I know he just wants to get going there, and Magic was just keeping it at a relatively decent pace, and he just went right to the back of him, and he's got his front wing, and yeah, that's going to really harm his race. As he's going to go racing once again here. There's 3 cars here, very close to each other. Freaking Toxic, Joe Royal, and Yari here. Freaking Toxic is going to try and get around him here, and Yari might fancy get, and Joe Royal might lose 2 positions here. Very clean race in between all 3 concerned. Freaking Toxic through, Yari's through. Although it's a bit pointless because Yari and Joe Royal have now decided to pit. So maybe unnecessary squabbling there. As no surprise, they all jump onto the medium tyres. So at the moment, Too Late Mate leads the race, still on the tyres that he started with. He's got a 17-second gap to Magic, who also hasn't pitted, so he'll be able to come up, he'll be able to pit and retake lead of this race relatively comfortably. He's in a class of his own at the moment. I wonder if he's feeling quite bored out in front at the moment. Govan Zaiti and Made in Turkey are going side by side here. Are both on new medium tyres after just hitting. And Made in Turkey's going to hold on to the position for now. As Govan Zaiti slamming on the brakes to avoid going into the back of the Red Bull. And we'll now have to follow him through and try and gain enough so maybe he can have a move go on at this DRS zone here. I think it's far too far back. He is using his DRS though, just a little bit. As our race leader now pits, and Magic stays out because he's on mediums already, so he takes the lead of this race for now. As the goal anxiety has just lost a bit of ground to Made in Turkey after a Scary, although it's making up a little bit again here. You have to be very careful because he's also got Joe Royal about 7/10 behind us, so we'll get DRS on the Red Bull, but Joe is going to get DRS on the Merc as well. The government's actually very late on the brakes there, but keeping it nice and tidy. And Joe Royal won't be in a rush to overtake these guys because, of course, we have a look at the penalties very quickly. Government's actually has 3 seconds, Made in Turkey 6, and Frigo Sammy has 3 seconds, so he doesn't have to push too hard. As long as he stays penalty 3, he'll end up getting them as long as he keeps that gap below 3 seconds. And Williams of Joe Royal is gaining a little bit there, but not enough. And the Gover's actually got a very, very good exit out of Ascari there, and he's slingshotted away from Joe and pushed himself a bit closer to Made in Turkey now. As Yari puts himself up another 3 seconds of penalty for corner cutting. He's not having a great time at all in the race. He's not close enough here to make a move happen. Oh, he's right on the back of Made in Turkey after braking very late there and trusting that he was going to be able to stop just before he went into the back of the Red Bull. Meanwhile, Frigo Sammy, who hasn't pitted yet, is holding up the Red Bull now by looks of things. And I'm sure Made in Turkey's going to slingshot past him now. Frigo Sammy's giving him a little bit of a squeeze here. Going onto the grass. That's a little bit naughty from the Mercedes. as Inside goes around the outside very nicely, and Federico Sami's not being very kind to his teammate either, not willing to yield positions at all, and that was reminding me a little bit of the incident between Bottas and Russell today. Almost put him on the grass, which could have been disaster for both drivers. But the Gomez IC is going to get DRS on his teammate. Not got too much DRS to fight with here, as his teammate is using DRS as well to try and stay ahead. But Gomez IC late on the brakes. What is Federico Sami doing here? What is he doing? That is mental with his teammate, and that's allowed Joe Royal to go and get past now. That's bad driving for Federico Sami there, who's now going to pretend to get overtaken by the Williams of Joe Royal. He's going to try and go around the outside. No, not enough track there on that particular occasion. But yeah, Gomez Ice is not going to be happy with his teammate there with pole. But Joe Royal now uses his ERS. He's got DRS as well. And he's going to fly past the Mercedes, and he's up into P8 now. Very nice move again from Joe Royal. Meanwhile, Federico Sami is going to try and get Joe Royal back here, and he is going to do so. But Joe, and again, as he goes side by side, but Federico Sami only retakes the position temporarily as there's contact again between Federico Sami and a car, but Joe Royal is through, and I don't know what was going on between those two Mercs at the back there, but what is certain, Federico Sami has to completely cut the corner, and he's been an absolute menace the last couple of laps as the Merc of Federico Sami. Meanwhile, we'll leave this battle because Federico Toxic is trying, is currently P5 at the moment, and is he going to be looking to pit again shortly? He had to pit early because of an incident, I think, at the start on lap 1, but I don't think that Neo's going to make it towards another 11 laps or so. It'd be very tricky anyway, but we'll wait to see on that one. Meanwhile, in the battle for P8, the Goat of Anxiety is going to get DRS on Joe Royal here. He's gaining, he's not using his DRS, realising he's not going to be able to close the gap enough to make a move happen. As Federico Sami now deciding to pit after that very long stint on the medium side, and he's on to the stop, so it's going to be very quick on track now, but he is at the back of the grid now almost. Oh well, just about at the back. He's still going to come out ahead of Dark RT21, who's had to pit a few times already. This is the only battle on track, well, apart from Yari on Tenor, but this is the closest battle on track, I should say, as between the Merc and the Williams. And he's gaining here to go with Anxiety, but sensibly decided not to try and make a move into Ascari, and instead he's going to try and get a better exit than Joe, but I think they both get as equal of a good exit, as Magic now opting to pit. Onto Stop Tide, he's currently in P5, he's going to lose position to car crash, he's down in P6. And the Go of Anxiety, with the help of DRS, is flying past Joe Royal, and he's off into P8 now. Very nice move from the Mercedes of the Go of Anxiety. Meanwhile, Yari trying to recover the race as best as possible. Is one position outside the top 10. And he's currently hunting down the racing point of Henna. And he's about half a second behind him at the moment. So he's going to keep this gap to under a second. He will get DRS on the racing point. But so far, it's been a very eventful race, I would say, so far. Seen some fantastic overtaking and some questionable defending and whatnot. But it's still been a decent race so far. I'm sure the final 9 laps or so, 8 or 9 laps will be just as thrilling. As Frico Toxic and now pit, he dropped down a few positions, he's going to come out he's now P9. I wonder if Penna and Yari are going to be able to overtake him here, as Penna trying to stop Yari getting a slipstream on him, but he's powerless to defend against the Red Bull, who uses almost all his DRS and slings across over to the inside to avoid Penna trying to dive bomb on him. And that is Yari now back into the top 10. Meanwhile, out in front, El Trotter has got past Ben, and he's now in P2. And with penalties, well, El Trotter is cementing that P2 as he's got 3 seconds left for penalties, and as Ben does. And Ben is actually now pitting. So I wonder if he had some front wing damage. I'm just going to stay on board with him for 2 seconds, guys, because I just want to see. It's very strange, and yeah, something has happened to him. He is going to change his front wing. That's a shame for him. I wonder what the difference between him and El Trocker. As Yari becomes our second retirement, he's looks like he's lost it coming out of Ascari, and that is going to bring out a full safety car. So that's going to make things interesting, and I wonder if any of the back markers, if anyone's going to jump into the pit. Penna's going to pit, but I think everyone else had already gone past the pit lane, so didn't get the opportunity to pit there. But what this does mean is that Carcraft is in a really good position to at least get P2 now, because he hasn't got penalties, currently in P3, but El Trocker does, so they're going to be bunched up. And interestingly, Too Late Mate jumps into the pits for soft tyres. El Trocker's going to come around the final corner. He's going to jump in as well. Too Late Mate might be able to hold. Is he going to be able to hold on to the lead of this race? As Carcraft comes down the final corner, he's jumping into the pit. So yes, Too Late Mate is going to hold on to the lead. So yeah, no harm done at all to jump onto the soft tyres. So F3 driver using the safety car as apart from UK, and Frico Toxic using the opportunity, and Joe Royal, to jump onto soft tyres. So we have a look at the penalties. Main tag does have a drive through for, I guess, for speeding under the safety car. That's, well, he's going to have to serve that after the safety car comes in, so he's going to be essentially at the back. That's going to ruin it. That's going to basically put an end to his race. Mount UK has 6 seconds, El Trocker 3 seconds, Frico Toxic instead has 6 seconds. Carcraft came out in P6, which doesn't have penalties. We know what made in Turkey, I've just mentioned that. Gilbert Zag has got a huge 12 seconds, that's going to harm him. Joe Roll only has 3 seconds. Penna, no penalties, that could really push him up the order at the end of this race. Errol Blake 3 seconds, Crystal Sammy 9 seconds, and Dark RC21 with 3 seconds of penalties. So if you are not too familiar with Formula 1, because of safety car, what happens is all the drivers have to slow down to a certain delta so they can all form up. Well, if this is a real F1, this would be giving them time to clear the debris that's on the track or get a car out of a dangerous part wherever it's crashed. But in this game we're just sort of acting as though the damage of the debris is still there. Really what it's doing is waiting for all the cars to catch up and bunch up together. So there might be an opportunity that the safety car might come in at the end of this lap, depending on if the likes of Errol Blake, Federico Santi and Dark can catch up in time. So just while we're quickly on that, let's have a quick look at the race director and see if there's anything we missed. Potentially. These are all the warnings and penalties that people have been awarded so far. Just mostly track limit warnings. Penna got himself a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. As we have confirmation that the safety car is in this lap, which is why Too Late Mate is slowing down to allow the safety car to jump into the pits. And then it is up to Too Late Mate to start accelerating to get the race going once again, which he does now. As Federico Sammy's got himself 5 second time penalty for colliding with Dark. As it's going mental at the back here, as the two Renault teammates are going side by side here. El Trucker trying to go on the outside of his teammate Mavs UK, and it looks like he's managed it as well. As now Sten's trying to get past Mavs UK, who doesn't seem to have a good start at all. It's a very nice move, I've got to say. On the outside, oh! As I was saying that, I wonder if he just got a little nudge off Mavs UK. Which put him, I don't know if he hit the wall or not, he was certainly off the track, but maybe he avoided the wall. Anyway, Carcraft's now trying to get past Federico Toxic here, as we're on board with the guys, so we get a perfect view of this battle. To go side by side into the sky, Carcraft goes right through, and he's off to P4, nice move. And that might have put Federico Toxic on the back foot and allow the Go of Anxiety to have a go at him now. And the Go of Anxiety looking very racy here, and he's going to go to the outside of the Hash driver as they go side by side onto the start finish straight. And he is, the Merc is through, and he's up in P5. Meanwhile, Sten, a little dive bomb on his teammate there, a little bit of contact. But looks like Sten is through for P7. And Joe Royal now, Aero Blake just moving over, which closed the door right on the Williams. And oh, Joe just couldn't slow down quick enough. I don't think he was expecting Aero Blades to break as early as he did. And a few drivers feeling very racy off the after the safety car. Now Manchike is gaining on the Merc here. And oh, does not get a good run at all out of Ascari. Oh, the Gilbert right, he's in the wall and he's out of the race. And becomes our 4th retirement. That is a massive shame, and it brings out a virtual safety car. And I'm not 100% sure if there was contact between the Renault and the Merc at all, but what is for certain is the Goat of Anxiety is not going to finish this race. He becomes our 4th retirement, and that is a massive shame. He was having a decent recovery race as well. As we go racing once again now here. Frico Toxic maybe caught a little bit napping at the restart of the virtual safety car. As Aero Blake looks to try and get past him. Crucially, Aero Blake comes up another 3-second time penalty. Rico Toxic gain a bit on Sten there. Can he make a move here? ERS is open on the start-finish straight as he tries to attack Sten, but the Ferrari has got other ideas instead. He's going to attack the Renault of Manchike as he goes toward. He's going to get the inside line now with the Ferrari, and it's a fantastic move from Sten. And he's up to P4, and Manchike is under pressure now from Federico Toxic in the half. And they go side by side. Federico Toxic's going to have to go the long way here. And he gets the move done. Nice move from the harsh driver. And he might get a really good run on Sten here and might get P4 if he plays his cards right here. But had to back off a little bit there, so he didn't go into the back of the Ferrari. So it's all plenty of battles going on in the middle of the field at the moment. A 2-minute makes that the fastest after the race. We saw 1:20.5. Oh, Frico Toxic getting onto the curb there. One of us going to lose their Manchike, and Aero Blake going side by side again, and Aero Blake's going to get the move. It's going to get past the Renault here, I think. And he'll have the inside line. Manchike's going to try and break him, go on the outside of him. Oh, and contact between the two. Aero Blake will hold on to the position. And now Joe Royal has got a good run on the Renault. And he's going to go right around him here. And that's a lovely move from Joe Royal. Up into P7 he goes. So let's have a look at the penalty situation. So too late, mate. Gonna win this race as long as he doesn't make a mistake. El Trucker, oh, is Vincent in sector 2, and Dark has retired. And he becomes our 5th non-finisher in this race. But it's not going to bring out a safety car this late into the race. As I was saying, El Trucker is probably going to lose out on the position to Carcraft. Then will only lose out at the moment to Joe Royal, I think, so he would only drop down to P5, if I'm doing my math correctly. So yeah, the penalty is definitely going to jostle the grid off a little bit, as we enter the final lap of this race here in Italy, where there's plenty of positions still up for grabs. Joe Royal doesn't have to get past Errol Blake on track here, he's going to get him on penalties. But Joe Royal could find himself P4, would it be? P4, P5, something like that. We'll have to wait and see. But, ooh, good run there from Errol Blake, and he might have got on the back of Flico Toxic, but we're going to jump on board here with the race winner. That is Too Late Mate, who wins the Italian Grand Prix. El Trocker's going to come across the line, but he's got himself 6 seconds out, so he's going to lose a couple of positions here. Carcraft takes P2 then. Then Joe Royal gets P4 because of penalties, good stuff for him. Then P5, Errol Blake P6, Magic A P7, Flico Toxic P8, Federico Sami P9, and Penna will take P10. And so here we go, Penna comes round the final corner. He is going to finish in the top 10, so it would be a solitary point if we were racing for points. And that is the end of this practice race. As the game gives driver of the day to Mavs UK. I'll decide my driver of the day when we have a look at the standings in a minute. But Too Late Mate does a nice little dance as he jumps onto the podium and continues his dominant form from last season. And he's going to be a very, very strong contender to retain this title, I've got to say. He looks like he's in a class of his own at the moment. And I wonder if anyone can stop him this season. Confirmation there, that is your standings. El Trocker held on to his position, so a very good drive from El Trocker actually, very good stuff from him. Joe Royal just the same as well. Joe Royal and El Trocker drove great races. Carcraft done really well from P5, got himself up into P2. Errol Blake P8 to P6. Magic K P14 to P7, decent stuff from him. Flico Toxic gained a few positions as well, as did Flico Sami, and Penna lost out on a position as well. So I think my driver of the day, it could be anyone between Carcraft, El Trocker and Joe Royal, but I'm going to give it to, I don't know what to give it to. I'm not very well decided. I'm going to give it to Carcraft just because it was a fantastic drive from him to get from P5 to P2, but it could be any of them between Carcraft, El Trocker, Joe Royal, or Too Late Mate. They all drove fantastic races. So that is it from me, and that is it from all of us here at SRL. It's been an enjoyable Sunday, late afternoon / evening of racing. But the season, the real stuff gets going next Sunday as we start Season 3 at Bahrain. So join us for that, starting with F4 at 4:30. Then followed by F3 and F2 at 6, and enjoy myself at 7:30, same time on the channel, for F1. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later on. Take care.